Hello YouTube, welcome back to another exciting, fantastic, marvelous edition of Driving Up Stocks. Thanks for joining us. If it's your first time here, if it's your 79th time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as those of you that have been around for a while know, we don't just hit that like button, we don't just smash that like button, but we climb the turnbuckle, get on that top rope, and drop the Macho Man Randy Savage flying elbow on that like button. So please do that before you take off. Much appreciated. As we discussed in my last video, this week does start our new format. Mondays will be the full-blown portfolio update. Thursdays, if we have enough information, if there's enough going on, we will do a portfolio update. Otherwise, it'll just kind of be mixed in a little bit with some kind of topic or rant or whatever. But we will still be doing Thursday uploads. They just won't be necessarily dedicated to a portfolio update. So like, for example, if this Thursday, I don't really have a whole lot to say about the portfolio. There's not a lot going on, no dividends, haven't put in my monthly investment, haven't bought anything. We'll give a quick, hey, this is where we're at, but then it'll roll into some other topic, which could be unrelated to stocks, might just be a motivational or leadership item. But getting into our portfolio update for this week, though, we finished the week strong. Few of our big guys, especially Disney was leading the way, had our portfolio up quite a bit. We finished the week at $238.18, so we are slowly inching our way back up from that dreaded Lord Voldemort that hit back in March and killed everything. So yeah, stocks took a real tank back then. If you haven't been paying attention to the markets, you're brand new to this game. But yeah, Disney really led the way. The cryptocurrencies had a big impact there. Bitcoin was on a run. It went over 12,000 at the end of last week. A couple times during the weekend, I believe it hit like 12,000. The Dogecoin was up a little bit. Litecoin, Ethereum, looked like most of the cryptos were up over the weekend. And that led into the beginning of this week also. The cryptos were doing real strong. Markets opened strong this morning. A lot of positive news out there. Disney's doing great still. Your Tesla's doing great, that kind of stuff. I mean, even though some of those have had dips and things throughout the weeks, those big ones, your Apples, Microsofts overall are doing pretty well. So I think Microsoft's a little bit down right now, but it's not one that's in my portfolio even as a fractional share, but I do believe Microsoft overall is down a smidge. What is going on? So let's talk a little bit about Disney. We discussed that in my last video, some of the things with the strong sales on the Disney Plus, the announcement they're going to release Mulan, even though there's controversy there that it's going to be $30. And as my good friend Anthony over Below Money Mindset, we've had discussions on this, that $19 is probably a more reasonable price point. I mean, if you look at Hamilton was huge. I mean, yeah, granted, you could say, oh, it's not some blockbuster along the lines of like an Avengers Endgame. But still, that was something that's really had a lot of anticipation. There was a lot of excitement. And they were selling that for $6.99. So then to turn around and something that's, you either love Mulan or it's like any Disney movie. A lot of those, you either love them or hate them. So it's kind of a hit or miss thing, especially, you're getting into these live actions. These live actions are really hit or miss in general. You get for every really good one, you get two that are garbage, or like you have to really like them to like them kind of deal. I don't know if that even makes sense, but taking a lot of risk there. And I mean, that's the one that you're going to lead the way with this. We want to have a $30 price point on it. Eesh, don't know about that. Don't know how that's going to work out. So I'm hoping that they'll end up feeling the heat off of that and dropping that price down, or it just won't do well on the streaming and they'll realize, hey, that price point at $30 is not going to work, so we need to drop that down. What else is going on out there? Something else going on out there. Oh, duh. There's a lot of the news that TikTok's going to be banned, especially in the U.S. It's kind of spearheading that, and in response to that, Microsoft came out and kind of said, hey, we want to make a bid. We want to try to buy that, buy out TikTok. And then now over the weekend, Twitter has come out and said they want to make a play, which I did not realize this, but Twitter's valued at like I think it was $27 billion, maybe $29 billion market cap. And TikTok's at like 57 or 58 billion. It's like, wow, didn't realize that. But they did say TikTok has a lot more opportunities for sponsorships, income streams where people get paid. There's not really a lot of people that get paid to post on Twitter. They just do it. It's like another social media for them. It's not like an Instagram where you're getting paid, or like they said, there was an article or whatever that said The Rock gets paid like $1 million per post on Instagram. Yikes, that's some clout there. That's some clout. But with the revenue streams you get from TikTok, they are valued quite a bit more than Twitter. Twitter has more to gain from it. A couple articles I was reading this morning said they've had a couple. I'm new to Twitter this year, so I don't know the stuff they've tried in the past, but I guess they've had a couple of video things that they've tried that failed. They seem to have more to gain from it. The only thing Microsoft has to gain, I was reading like can't remember if it was a Yahoo, I think it was a Yahoo Finance article, is where I read that, that Microsoft doesn't really have a lot to gain from it, because they're not known for the social media platforms, and really it's just going to be like an entry point for them, and they're not really sure, other than to kind of get with the times. They don't have a lot to gain from it. Twitter, on the other hand, they are more geared. They need something, it said, for the younger generation, because it said, like, it listed off their top like 3, Obama being one, Rihanna was one, I can't remember the other ones, but it said like out of the top 5 I guess biggest followers on Twitter, only one of them was under 30. So this kind of gives them another angle. It kind of gives them another shot. I guess they had bought Vine and failed with Vine. So this kind of gives them another shot. It's something similar like that has a younger market. So that might be a positive for them. It sounds like Twitter has more to gain. It just said that they're going to have a harder time buying them out or coming to an agreement with TikTok, because TikTok is a lot more valuable than they are. So to get the financing and everything would be the big question mark there. So we'll see how that plays out. Also read a Wall Street Journal article that said they're looking for Disney to take another hit. Granted, long term, I am still big on Disney. I think Disney's going to be great. They're going to do great. They're going to rebound and be back up into that $150, $160 range that they used to be at. I have no doubt there. But there was a Wall Street Journal article that came out today saying that there's basically this big Disney bubble that's going to expand and burst, and they're going to hit bottom again when kind of all the news and like realizations come up, because they said like a lot of the Disney Plus sales right now are basically parents that have their kids at home, just trying to find something for them to do, keep them occupied, or some stuff they have on there temporarily or whatever, like they're home themselves and just want something to binge watch, some series or movies, but that their subscribers are going to drop overall, once all this Lord Voldemort, that which shall not be named, kind of starts to get more under control, more things open, more things get back to normal, that the viewers are going to drop off of the Disney Plus. They still have parks that are not open, so they're still paying bills for parks, these huge parks like Disneyland. Disneyland's still closed indefinitely. They've still got to pay all the utilities and taxes and everything on that for something that's generating them basically zero money right now. And they've got places like that all over the world. And the ones that are reopening, there's limitations on how many people they can have in the park. There's safety concerns, because you've got kids that are going to be waiting in line for their favorite rides. And this is all right off a Wall Street Journal article. That are they going to want to keep their masks on when they're bouncing around the park and it's hot? Are the parents going to? Just a lot of things about that, kind of like, and the theater reopening is getting pushed back, so they have movies that aren't happening. Sports are getting canceled, like the Big Ten. I'm here in Ohio. College football's big in Ohio. Ohio State Buckeyes college football. Ohio State was one that voted to not play the season, so it sounds like there's no football this year. So, ESPN's really taking a hit on this stuff. Abbreviated seasons on like your NHLs, your NBAs, MLB, and that all takes money away from ESPN, which is owned by Disney. So a lot of this stuff they're saying is going to catch up to Disney, and that bubble's going to burst and they're going to bottom out again. Again, long term, it's still great. I imagine eventually that dividend's going to come back. Probably going to be a while now, because they probably know this and they're just hoping it takes a while for anybody to realize it. But I think that's a very true article that the Wall Street Journal put out, that bubble's going to burst and they're going to drop again. I see that as a buy-in point, because like I said, I'd like to get up to a full share. I'm at about I think a half a share now, or 4/10 of a share, something like that. So I'd like to get up there. So got to give me an buy-in point. So, but for now, they're up in that $130 range, doing very well. So that is the tea for now. Like I said, I had quite a bit. Did have quite a bit of time to do a little bit more reading and research and keep up on things over this weekend. I know one of my favorite stocks that, again, they disappointed me because they're a REIT and they dropped their dividend. Y'all know how I feel about REITs dropping dividends. But Washington Prime, they have their earnings today. I have not got to read. I thought it was pre-market, but I have yet to see any news on that. I haven't got a chance today to read that, if their earnings report has hit. But it's going to kind of depend on their CEO. They've got like a very, I don't know if you call him eccentric, but he's got a lot of flair to him. I really like him. He's really entertaining to listen to him. He's not like one of these like boring, got dry eyes, get clear eyes, this is our financials for the year. He is really an entertaining person, like really the kind of guy you want leading a company, because he can really motivate people. So depending on kind of how his persona is during that earnings call, I think regardless of whether or not it's a positive or negative earnings return, it's going to be how he sells it that determines whether or not that stock shoots up or kind of stays where it's at, because it is down quite a bit. It's been trading around 80 cents lately. It was up over $4 for the longest time until all this crap hit. So that is what's going on. Had a lot of time over the weekend, had like a family emergency, so I ended up staying home with the kids. I'd had plans on working Saturday and Sunday, and then kind of the rest of the time I was going to devote to the kids, but ended up I was with the kids all weekend. So because rest of the people that were going to watch the kids for me while I worked had a little emergency that came up in their family of mine, so I was kind of worried about that. So had a lot of time to read over the weekend, because we didn't do a lot outside this weekend. We did a little bit, but not a lot, because it was scorching here in Ohio, and we did not want to spend more time outside than we needed to. Just one of those, there was no mercy anywhere, not even in the shade. So it wasn't even like, let's go for a fun, comfy little bike ride. It was like sweltering. So we just kind of kicked it around the house, watched movies and stuff. So had a good time. So hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully things are going well with you. Hopefully you're staying healthy. Again, if you have not hit that subscribe button, please do before you take off out of here. Thanks as always for tuning in. I appreciate the heck out of all of you. We will see you Thursday. Go Yankees. Love you all. Take care.